March 11th, 2026. Different background. We're not in my bedroom right now, we're in the workroom. Why? Because it is midnight. My bad if, by the way, I rewatched the first two video diaries, and I am very breathy into this microphone. I'm gonna try to stop that, but there are no promises, because right now I'm trying to be quiet, and my family's asleep. I accomplished doing the, what's it called? Audiobook for Repair Service. The problem is, I think Vinny's accent or voice is very, very, what's that word? Inconsistent. It's very inconsistent throughout the recordings, and it's probably going to be a problem during editing, because I remember I had a struggle with Vinny where I kept kind of making him sound like a cowboy. I solved the problem, though, by using Kanye West's song Stronger as not a vocal warm-up, but as a mouth warm-up. So, essentially, I'm with Vinny and Pablo's voice, because they sound very similar. That's also a little bit of a problem, but because they sound very similar, they're both based on Kanye West, their voices. What else? Right. I wanted to mention this. It's not bothering me now, but it was bothering me earlier today and yesterday. Sorry, I'm coughing. The last 3 or 4 days, I've somewhat, I wouldn't say bedrotting, but I did absolutely nothing all day until I had to go to school. And then at school, I felt guilty for doing nothing. And then I'd come home or rather, on the way home, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do the thing. I'm gonna go finish it. And then I don't. I start bedrotting again. And that's a hassle. It is. Because school is a big stress. I think that's one of the main things. School's a big stress. It's not really exam season right now, but I've got a lot of exams kind of coming in, coming out. And it's a hassle. And so most of my energy is just most of my energy goes to the anxiety of, oh my gosh, it's the schoolwork, the test, am I ready? Spoiler alert, I'm not really. But, I'm not failing. That's what's important. I'm not failing, and I know I can do better. I'm gonna do better. I also have to focus on this stuff when I can. That's like, tier 2. It's under school. Because I'll have the rest of my life to worry about this. School is just a right now thing. Once I get past school, then I can, do whatever. What else? This is definitely going to be a shorter video, by the way. Something I find funny about these video diaries. Again, I rewatched the first 2 on the way to school today. And I was like, something I do. I always speak as if I'm from the future and I know what's going to happen. Because I have plans and, I know what's going to happen. I don't, realistically. 2 years ago, what you guys know as Shenanigans right now was meant to be a comic. It was meant to be a comic called Cat. And I was meant to be the artist. I tried art. I'm not great. That's why I ultimately decided against it. And then I was like, okay, well, I can make Cat into a little, a YouTube series. Oh, I can practice my film capabilities. And then I realized it would be a hassle, because even though I'm the only actor, it was meant to be just me, by the way. Like, Vinny and Casey would be mentioned on, paper or something, but I would be the main actor for Cat, because, you know the reason. And I would be the main actor for Cat, and I'd be doing most of the work, and that's a hassle. I don't want to do all that, right? I'm going to lean back a little. So I was like, I mentioned sobriety and weightless. Weightless is definitely in the plan, by the way. I'm just saying, but like sobriety, it might end up as something completely different. Shenanigans might end up completely different. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to end up re-recording these audiobooks because I'm because I'm shit, and that's okay. Sometimes you gotta restart. So I don't know how many of you know this, but Freshman Shenanigans, was initially a bunch of like on Wattpad. It's framed as one story, and then each chapter episode is its own. Yeah, it's a chapter, right? Initially, it came out. I released it as like Sugar Factory as just a standalone chapter, and then what's it called? And then like Repair Service as a standalone chapter, and that stopped when I hit my writer's block, which was around halfway through the box. I got the first two chapters down. I just couldn't write more. I was just like, oh, this sucks. And I tried to put it all in a series. I called the series Shenanigans, and it's probably the same thing, assuming you're watching in the future. See, I did it again, I'm guessing. I don't know. But I put it all together, and it said, I'm like, okay. So, obviously, Sugar Factory is the first episode, so I put Sugar Factory. And then it was like, oh yeah, season 1. I'm like, oh man, this is an episode. This is not a season. What are you talking about? And then I realized that it's assuming that each story is meant to be like a book, like a full thing, you know what I mean? Like a whole season of a TV show. I'm like, oh, that's how it works. Okay, I guess that makes sense. And that's why I've now split it up in my head into freshman, sophomore, junior, senior shenanigans, and maybe summer shenanigans. I'll think about that. Is there anything else? Something that's a little tricky for me on this video diary series is to keep focus on my work as bread. I've got my own life. I've got a lot of things happening. This YouTube and this video diary series is specifically catered to people who want to see how I got successful, because that's going to happen. It's catered to people who see how I got successful and how they can replicate it. If I start talking about things like, oh, I've got a math test tomorrow, I'm so worried. Oh, my friend troubles. Oh, I'm going to hang out with this guy. Oh, girlfriends. It's not going to, it's not going to resonate, at least personally. If I open up, like, I don't know, I can't think of any rich guys I look up to. If I look up, like, look at Ben Affleck. If I look up Ben Affleck, how did he become an actor? I don't care to hear about his girlfriend. Maybe I do. But that's not going to help me become an actor. So to any oh wow, it is 8 minutes. So to any professional or like wannabe professional storytellers watching this, I'm sorry if I go off track in this series. I have a little bad habit of going off track. I think that's it. Good night.